All right, so going to the second half, it was I think a one-goal game. Then Mark Anstey came and scored 2 straight goals. Can you talk about the momentum that gave you guys going into the rest of the game?
Absolutely. It didn't feel like the momentum was there that long because we went up 5-2. It was 3-2 at half, and then I think they tied it up shortly thereafter. It felt good for all of 20 seconds, but in a rivalry game when there's seating on the line and it's a wet kind of grinding game, you know that DeMatha, who's well coached, is going to come back and make a run, and they did that. And we kind of did some uncharacteristic things. We got some penalties, some failed clears, maybe another penalty, and just things that didn't help us kind of build off that momentum. But we found a way to win the game, and it's quite an interesting one.
Right, and then jumping ahead with 2.5 minutes left in the fourth, you guys were up 7-6, and you needed that big insurance goal to kind of secure everything, put everything to rest. And Richie got that goal for you.
Right.
Can you talk about how big that was and what changed from there when he got that 2-goal lead for you guys?
Sure. Richie has been making those plays all year, but he'll be the first to tell you that the guys at X that are running that kind of, those drives and drawing slides and feeding it to him, he'd be the first one to admit that those guys like Mark and Timmy and Luke McCaleb and Timmy Monahan and Mark Hanstead are setting that for him, but he's got great feet, he's got soft hands, and that's, people look at it when you feed it to him right there, that you just put it in, but no, I mean, when you got a great goalie like they do in Ramsey, number 9, that's not an easy shot, so we put it in. And of course we needed that. I would have liked to have held on to a 2-goal lead, but again, rivalry game, well-coached team, a team of some really super strong players that they have. They made a run and they had that shot there at the end, which, however way you look at it, we got the W and fantastic.
Right, and so obviously the playoffs are up next, and there's a possibility that you guys can face DeMatha once again in the playoffs. I think 10 days from now is when they start, or the championship
Sure.
at least. So can you talk about what you expect, if you do play them again, what you can expect from them, if they'll come out differently?
Our league has become so balanced that you never know who you're gonna see. So we've got some big games ahead of us in our bracket of a quarter and a semifinal. They probably, being a 2 seed now, will be the one because of the win today. 2 seed. They've got some tough games, and so I don't want to kind of speculate on what it would be like if we had to play them again. I think it'd be a very similar game. Hope the weather's a little nicer, but it's really hard to beat good teams twice. And you always see it, whether it's in the NFL or it's in college basketball or college lacrosse. You see teams play each other twice. Great coaches like them and the great coaches in our league make adjustments, and we've just got to practice and be better. So, it's going to be up for grabs, and it's going to be a fun one. And I fully expect them to come out and be hungry from today if we do see them again. But there's some good teams out there that are going to be that are ready to go. So, and I like that about our league a lot.
And talk about the preparation. As I've been telling, the tough out-of-conference schedule this year, some pretty much is why I've put you above everyone with the likes of BL and Hill, having to play those out-of-conference games, and talk about how those have just help you
Sure.
Keep the lockdown on the WCAC.
Well, again, I mean, I will feel like a lockdown would be ours again until after May 12th, if we can get there and finish this season out. You always want to play the best. You always want to challenge your kids. It's no mystery we graduated a bunch of guys, but we challenged these young kids this season with, like you said, the boys Latins and the McDonoughs and the Hill Academies, and we went to Florida and played some great teams, and we played 5 of the 6 IAC teams and had a 4-1 record, and these kids got better and better. And as I said to somebody the other day, when you're 18, 19 games into the season, your young guys they're not young anymore, and that's not an excuse. And I think you're starting to see that. Yes, we made some, just some mistakes today with with our team, but I felt like it was just one of those games. I mean, you're playing DeMatha, and you love playing those guys, and I think they get fired up to play us. I think it's made us great. And going 13-5, I think 4 of the 5 losses are to top 10 teams according to Inside Lacrosse in the country, if you follow those rankings, and it challenged those kids. And I think the number one thing is these kids work hard. They work hard in practice. They give me everything, and they just battle. And today they hung on and helped us out.